Hi, my name is Ali. Welcome if it's the first time you see me here. Welcome back if you have seen me before. So today I have a really exciting video because it's another book video. I'm back. I have my top 10 of books I have read this year. As you can see, there's been a lot of books on my Kindle, which is here. It's so cute. So these are the 4 physical books that I've read that are on my top 10. I've read more physical books, but I just have not loved those as much. Let's get to it. Okay, so starting at number 10, one book that I felt like I needed to put in this top 10 was Fractured Souls by Neva Altag. It's the 6th book in the Perfectly Imperfect series. I read it almost at the beginning of the year, so I don't really remember what it's about, but I did a review on it and it was really thorough, so I'm going to read it to remember it. I gave it 5 stars, which, like, this series I did start with the 6th book in the series, but just because I saw a video on TikTok that looked so good, so I felt like I just needed to get to this book, and I started reading, and I know why people rave about this series so much, because it's so good. This book was a 5-star book for me. I don't feel like there's that many books that I like that much to put them on my top 10 of a year, and I read 71 books this year, so I feel like for this to be in the top 10 it has to be really good. Anyways, the book follows Asha and Pasha, or Aisha or Asia. Follows Asia, an 18-year-old from the Italian mafia that was kidnapped and raped and put to work in a prostitution den. These scenes are very explicit, so I would recommend looking up the trigger warnings, but not just for this book, for any book, because maybe I don't remember all of the trigger warnings. Maybe they were not big in the book, but they're still in books, so I would recommend that you look them up just in case. Pasha is a member of the Bratva, which is the Russian mafia, who finds her escaping the inferno she was living. From then they form an extremely strong connection that leads to them falling in love. I think I'm starting to remember that she was in a prostitution den and she managed to escape, and he finds her when she's escaping, and he sees that she's injured, so he takes her to his house, and she doesn't talk, but he sees how she's really attached to him, and I don't know, it was one of the most beautiful love stories that I have read. I know, like, it's in the mafia, so I literally said that this book is about a really strong woman who saved herself, which actually is true, because she did escape on her own. I really liked it. I do remember that. The next book in my list is All My Kisses For You by Monica Murphy. I gave this one 5 stars. I love this book. Like, if you have read A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime, which I have, and I have the book like somewhere over there. So All My Kisses For You is about Crew and Ren's daughter, which are the main characters from the first book, A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime. This book is so much better than A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime, because it's like, for me, I described it as if The Deal and A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime had a baby, and it was that. He does not play hockey in the book. The vibes with the whole friend group love story felt like the Off-Campus series. Like, it was normal. If you have read A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime, you know that these kids are rich. This kid, he is obsessed, like obsessed and rich. All My Kisses For You, it was fast-paced and it was good and it was beautiful, but it was different vibes. He was not dark, he was light-hearted, she was fun, she was like different from Ren, but also like innocent. I don't know, it was really amazing. I gave it 5 stars because it was such a breath of fresh air, because I was expecting something, because this was their daughter, And it was something else completely. Like, it was so good. Look up the trigger warnings because I don't remember everything. It is possible that it might have some. I don't think so, but I have bad memory, so. Okay, the next book is a book in Spanish. Who would have thought? Like, this year I did read a lot of books in Spanish. The one that made it to the top 10 was Todos los lugares que mantuvimos en secreto by Emma Rubiales. I remember wanting to read this book as soon as it came out, and it's the one that has, let me show you, it has these things, and I did, as you can see, tap it. So bad. I really love this book. I had not read as much in Spanish, and it was really hard for me to read fast in Spanish because I was not used to reading in Spanish. I've read, I think, 200 books since I've started keeping track of it on Goodreads, and 195 books have been in English. So I'm more used to reading in English than Spanish, but this one was really good. It's about Maeve and Connor. They were friends when they were little. She moved away with her parents because they lived in Finland, I think. And she moved to the States. And she wants to go back to the place that she came from. And they kind of reconnect because she goes to live with his parents and his family because they were best friends with his mom, and it's such a pretty and beautiful love story. The author of this actually announced a couple of days ago that she's going to be releasing a book on his brother and her best friend. I need that book. The next book that I'm going to be talking about is What If We Break, the first book in the New York Sweethearts by Jolina Falk. Is the second generation of the Unfrozen 4. I only have these two books from the Unfrozen 4 series. I have not read the third or fourth one. I wanted to own them, but I just never did, so I didn't continue reading. But I did really love these books. So this one is about the daughter of the main character of the third book, actually. If you have not read 7 Months by Jolina Falk, don't read What If We Break, because the whole plot circles around one big thing in 7 months, and if you have not read that book, you're going to get spoiled the one big thing. It was an amazing book. I think I got sent the ARC copy. I was like in a reading slump before starting it, so I was not convinced that I was going to finish it. But I did, because when I started reading, it was like so good that I finished it in 2 days. So now I'm really excited for the second book, which I think is about her brother and someone else. I'm not really sure. So the book is about Reese and Brooke. They were sweethearts from the moment that they met each other when they were like 3 or 5, but they just broke up because they were fighting all the time and everything, because she's an ice skater and he's a hockey player, I think. They have to fight for each other, which I didn't really understand because they loved each other and most of their miscommunication was just that, like miscommunication. And then there's one big plot twist towards the end of the book which makes the kind of third act breakup. I wouldn't call it third act breakup, but something happens. I really did like it because it was fast-paced, it was interesting, it was beautiful, and they were so cute. You should read it. I gave it 5 stars. To make it in my top 10, it's hard. So yeah. The next book is actually a physical book. It is Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino. Since I bought it, I hadn't read it in 6 months, I would say. And I really love this book. Like, it turned into my favorite book for such a long time. And this was so good. When I finished it, I did not expect the plot twist, the love story that it was in this, the both present and past points of view, but in a good way, because I don't like past and present point of views. But this was good. You have to read it. They met in college, they fell in love basically. they were so good together. And then he accepted a kind of a scholarship with National Geographic, so he went with them. And then some things happened. They tried to have a long distance relationship, then something happened. They hadn't talked in 15 years, I think. And then they find each other again at a train station, but she takes the train before he can talk to her. And then the plot twist in this one I did not expect. Like, I would say there's 2 plot twists on this book, kind of. Yeah, 2 plot twists probably. One of them you can't expect, the other one you don't. Like, you just don't. So yeah, top 6, 5 stars. This one does really deserve a lot more than 5 stars because it was so good. And it's second chance, obviously. Top 5 is actually part of another series. It's this one, Real Players Never Lose by Mikaela Smeltzer. It was really good. It was really good. It was like, it's got all my favorite tropes, like fake dating, plus size, FMC, big, golden retriever boyfriend. Like, he was amazing. So this was Vanessa and Teddy. They started fake dating because he needed a fake girlfriend for something. I don't really remember, but she needed money to pay her tuition because her scholarship just got denied or something, and he offered to pay. He was going to lose his money because his dad thought that he was not responsible, and he had to show up with a girlfriend. So he asked her, and they started fake dating, and then love happened, as in every freaking book. I read the whole series, which is like 5 or 6 books in less than 5 days. It was really, really good. It was so good. I loved it, honestly. Okay, the next book I actually do have a physical copy of because the author herself sent it to me. It's Truth or Dare. It's actually a really pretty book. I'm so sorry, you cannot see it that good because it's the lighting. This book came with lots of things. It came with a bookmark of Chris and Gabby. It's in both sides. It's so pretty. A lot of character art, which I'm pretty sure she makes herself. Some pictures. Then it came with so many things. Earrings to keychains, stickers, I think. I don't remember. You can see it in my TikTok. And then the book itself, it's signed. Can't see if you're seeing it. Yeah. It's so pretty. And it is actually one of my faves from the series. Like, the second one, Spin the Bottle, is my favorite. I don't know, I relate so much to it, and I really liked it when I read it. It's special to me for too many reasons, because it was my first PR package that I got sent, and this book was sent to me for free. And I don't know, I feel like it's an accomplishment on my account because I had never thought, even if you have to request it, it got sent to me, which I had never gotten anything sent to me ever. So she has become one of my faves. So yeah. This book is a Friends to Lovers, which makes it the more special because if you know me, you know that I don't like Friends to Lovers. Oh my god! Ow! But I really did like this one. It had to be here. I put it at 4 because you're going to see which books are 3, 2, and 1. Look trigger warnings up for this one. It followed Gabby and Chris. They were friends since they were in high school. He was in love with her for the longest time. She always had boyfriends. Then she realized that she was in love with him. Then he moved away for something that happened. Now they're both in college. They speak to each other, but through the phone. He's in London, she's in the US. They're the same person. Like, they both love video games, they both love music. That's why, like, in every photo he has headphones and they are listening to music together, which is their thing. It's about how he goes to visit her in the US and they start to show their feelings to each other. It's a really nice read. It also goes to the past, but not like one POV is the present and the other one is the past. It's just flashbacks. It was amazing. And it was special to me, so. Okay, number 3 was a really good book this year. I got the arc with this one. It's Raleigh by Daphne Perry. This is a surprise pregnancy trope, which I do like. I'm sorry. Characters from this book actually appear in Blitz, more in Coach by Daphne Perry, which they are part of the Treasure State Wildcats, series. This is the third book in the series, and it was my favorite. I read the first and the second, and then this one, and the third one is my absolute favorite. The second one I really loved too, but the third one was just... The main characters meet when she gets a flat tire and he helps her. Then they both meet each other again at a van camp, and they kind of know that they like each other, but they both have a partner at the moment, kind of. A lot of things happened. They were not in contact with each other, but then she found out that she was pregnant. They ended up going to the same school. She came from a poor background. Her mother was not good. She has a sister that she takes care of. Her background is really effed up. He is the opposite. 5 stars. You have to read it. But the epilogue is so good. It's so good. Daphne Perry is my all-time favorite author, so... Like, when I'm on a reading slump, I always pick up one of her books because it takes me out of it. On the second position, we have probably one of the most incredible books that were released this year and that I have read this year. Play Along by Liz Stomford was everything and more. Like, and I know this, and I'm not crazy, not only because people have read it and raved about it, but because one of my friends had just read the first one, didn't like it. I recommended to her this one because this is my favorite in the series, and she read it and she's obsessed with Isaiah. She's obsessed, like obsessed in the sense that she sends me videos about him. She posts on her stories about him. Obsessed. Isaiah Rhodes is the most amazing man. Kennedy Kay is the most amazing woman. This book is the most amazing book. Okay, I might be biased because it has one of my favorite tropes in it, like fake dating, fake marriage, drunk marriage in Vegas. I don't know if that's a thing, but for me it is. And this book has it, and this book is amazing. It's the last book in, well, it's not the last one, but it's the last one that's released so far in the Windy City series. He was in love with her from the second he met her, but she was engaged. Then she stopped being engaged. They found themselves in Vegas. They were there for a baseball match. She was there for a bachelorette trip. They met at one of the bars. He told her to get out of there with him, to go to another bar. One thing led to another and they got married. Drunken married in Vegas. He proposed to be fake married, so that they wouldn't have to face the consequences. It was a really beautiful book because along the way they fell in love, and the backstory on her side, it's incredible how she was so insecure, not keen on physical touch. He was all about physical touch. It was his love language. Her ex-fiance was dating and engaged, I think, to her half-sister or like step-sister. Her family was not good to her, so, but I just say it was, so amazing. 5 stars, amazing. Okay, then my top 1 book in 2024 was Only With You by E. Salvador. This is the second book in the Nights series. I loved the first book. I loved it. This one, Bury Me With It. It has my heart. I got sent the arc for this one too. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I probably wouldn't have read it if I didn't have the arc because I was in a reading slump, and I'm really happy that I did get the arc because it was such an amazing experience. I will read my Goodreads review to you This book was everything and more. I thought I loved the first one, but Landon and Juliana really came in and said, "You sure?" They can't stand each other, and Juliana has just moved in with one of Landon's best friends. I love the way they were both hurting inside and didn't think love like they had with each other was possible until they found it. They healed each other, and that was beautiful to read. Like, it actually was. She had a boyfriend that was not really good to her, and she had so many insecurities, and Landon helped heal everything inside her. And also her family was not good to her. They made her look and feel small and stupid, and he helped her build her confidence back up, and it was beautiful to read. The way Landon was such a beautiful man, inside and out. Oh, I remember, you have to look up the trigger warnings for this one. His backstory was hurtful, but beautiful. How he was always reassuring Juliana that she was strong, smart, and beautiful, and that it was okay to cry and to feel bad sometimes and let it all out. How he was always there when she called. That's true, because one day she had a flat tire. He was having dinner with his friends. He wasn't much of a party man, but still, he was at a party. She called him to kind of ask him what to do, and he was like, "I'm gonna get there in 5 minutes." And she's like, "It takes 10 to get here." And he's like, yeah. She was incredible. She didn't take shit from anyone. And even at the end, she didn't take shit from her ex-boyfriend, from her parents. And this book was 5 stars. When I rated it, I said, this is probably going to be one of my favorites this year. But now, reviewing all of them that I've read and making like the top 10, I can confidently say that it's my favorite. It was amazing. Like, so beautiful. And that's all for my top 10 books of 2024. I hope I see you soon, because I'm planning on filming many videos, book and not book related. So yeah, I'm really excited, and I'll see you on the next one.